Are you ready? Are you ready to pot it up?
Let's go. Let's have fun. Peatcast it.
This is the Simply Youth Ministry Podcast with Doug Fields,
I think it's going to be a four-shoulder touch.
Matt McGill,
Nothing says loving like a muffin.
Josh Griffin,
The internet is a hotbed of activity.
and Jana Sardi.
Podcast.
The show starts now.
Hey, everybody.
Not bad.
Doug Fields here with Jana Sardi, Matt McGill, and Josh
Hi-de-o.
Griffin.
Yep.
And this is episode...
12.
120.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Welcome to the show.
We're in the 120s.
That's right.
In the podcast, when it tells you the number.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
You know what number it is.
It's like when
And-
you every time you leave a message, you always say what time it is. But the
No.
message, he totally does. Hey man, it's like 7:22.
That's
you
funny.
know.
Do I do that with you?
No. You know, you're like, Griff, you're not going to call me back. You're probably not going to listen to this. I'll try
Well,
to
that's
text you. I
because
wish
you
were a
got
better
the
friend.
world's
Bye.
worst answering machine
No,
ever.
answer machine.
That is so
he
accurate.
Never answers, he never
Something
answers his
like that.
phone and probably never listens to his voicemail.
Not true.
You
he
listen to your
listens
voicemail?
He answered
On your
his
phone?
phone
On your-
once
on
when he
your
was
phone?
in Detroit.
All right, so here we go. From the one kid in his youth group.
Right.
If it could just be texting,
Which
if I
would've
could
been fine.
turn off my
I'm
phone.
kind of with you.
That's
on
why you
this.
need
I-
Google
You're
Voice,
judging me. I'm gonna let
That's
that
why
go.
you need Google Voice. It sends
Yes.
you an email of what
I still got to figure that out. Would you give me an invite?
Okay, let's start the show.
Google
Okay.
Wave.
Here we go. Wind it back. Here we go.
This is a great show. What are you talking about?
Here, let's start it over. Let's do it. This will be the first time. Have we ever started a show over?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this will be our second time.
We've done it like
Ready,
100 times.
Nadine?
Yeah.
Lap
Ready?
dance.
Okay, here
okay?
we go. Starting over.
Here, come on, let's start over.
Nope.
Come on.
I've already
Come
started.
on. No, come
Come
on.
on, you
start
start a
over.
new Twitter account. You can't start a new podcast.
Okay, starting over on
Here we
three. One lap band on three. One,
Can't believe you guys don't get it to your phone.
Hey, everybody.
I'm crying every night. I cry that you guys don't get my Matt Must Be Mental. to your phone.
Matt McGill here to my right, Jana Sardi to my right, to my left, Josh Griffin. and
Hi-de-ho,
I'm
neighbor.
Doug Fields. Welcome to podcast Simply Youth Ministry episode 120 something. This is the team
This
right
is it.
here.
Right
No,
here.
we're all
Although-
the team.
No,
What?
this is
This
our
is
team, like right
team,
here
team.
with to our team. You're
We're
right.
hugging
You're right
you.
though. But what I was
Have
going
a
to say,
seat.
we're missing a key player of our team, Chris Davis, who is our sound engineer, the whole bit. But we have Nadim filling in, our
Club
Lebanese model.
A Lebanese lover.
He does have very delicate hands.
Yes, he does.
What?
So,
Very.
hey, anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got more because we've missed the last 2 weeks.
Right.
No, well, we could have been here, but you were out doing stuff.
I was speaking to the Salvation Army last week.
That's cool. How did
Yeah.
that go?
It was awesome. They're great, the greatest, awesome, except for the uniforms.
Do they have
Greatest.
uniforms?
Awesome.
Do
Yes.
they have
Did
uniforms?
they ring any bells?
Are you serious?
Did you make
Bucket?
fun of?
No, but don't they just have uniforms only when they go collect money?
No, they go to church in uniforms.
Oh, that's
Wow.
great.
Yeah.
Do they wear them to work?
The
every day?
history of Salvation Army, like,
Yeah.
you ought to read about it. It's
We're pretty.
Yeah,
We're
really?
pretty
My
ignorant right now.
in-laws
I don't think you need to tell me
are
what to
from
do.
Salvation Army Church in
Yeah.
Australia.
yeah. Yeah, it's big in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
think
last
that's
week.
right.
The week before, what was happening the week before?
You were mountain biking or
yeah,
something.
No, it
you were
wasn't.
Sweating.
You were retired
Sweaty.
somewhere.
You were knitting this fine
On an-
blouse you're wearing today.
You're not an
So
island.
anyway, it's been a few weeks. It's been a few weeks since we've
Yeah,
been
we're back.
together. And actually, really, because Matt, the last two,
I missed the last
You were
two.
in Colorado.
I was in
Ah,
Colorado the
that's
week
what
before.
it
Thank
was.
you, Jan.
Yeah, that's it.
And then
Yippee-dibby.
Matt was on vacation. It's been a while since the four of us have been together. It's
That's
nice.
right.
We have a lot of questions from people because we
Love it.
haven't done shows. We had like over 400 entries into the Simply Sack Chair.
Oh, fantastic!
What's that? I don't even know about this.
Oh my
Don't tell
goodness!
him, don't
Win
tell
a
him.
sack chair, dude. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
here's the deal.
Hiding under a
and
rock.
honestly, I can't remember if they win a sack chair or they win free
Yeah.
to
Thanks, buddy.
Simply Youth Ministry Conference. I don't remember.
Sack
But
chair.
Cammy
They win a
knows.
sack
Giving
chair.
away like 3 sack chairs.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
giving away
just
sack
Just
chairs.
don't call it a love sack.
Matt, don't even pretend.
SimplySackchairs.com. Here
Yes,
we go.
Here it is. So let's start with
What?
this is the list I've been
A
given.
love sack is another brand, by
Matt,
the way.
Matt.
He's laughing
Matt.
as if I said something bad.
No, you're
kinda
just
did.
you're insider. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk
That was
about
like
that.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's pretty
But it's
funny.
still
Let's don't use that
Funny
word
to me.
anymore.
But yeah.
All right. So the Simply Youth Ministry Conference, which is 2
Couple weeks
weeks
away
Two weeks
from
from to yesterday.
2 weeks from
Yes.
tomorrow, it starts.
Oh yeah.
Josh hasn't even booked his flights yet.
I just
got
booked my flights a few days ago.
I gotta
did
do
too.
it now. You get a 2-week window. We're fine as long as I do it today.
You're not a 2-week window. You got to go on. You're going on Monday.
Oh crap! I'm in trouble now.
Yeah.
Can you, Nads?
No,
can
it's
you
still a 2
multitask?
weeks. It's
No.
still 14 days.
Nice stewardship of somebody else's money.
No, it's mine. That's the problem.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Start
It's
over.
mine.
Oh, golly.
It's been so
Third
long since I
time.
burped.
Okay. Yeah, but
It
here's
has.
the deal.
Holy
How
smokes!
down-
What are we doing? I have
I'm
to
just
go
making
in
sure it's
40
on
minutes.
the-
Here's the
silent.
deal that people don't know,
Oh.
except for our live show. We started over. We haven't started. We've started over like twice before.
Yes.
We're going
Yeah.
nowhere, and we're about to start over a third
We've
time.
never-
But let's don't do
We're
that.
gonna start over a
So
third
our
time.
Simply Youth Ministry Conference is in 2 weeks. It is almost sold out. If
gonna
this
be great.
makes it to iTunes,
Yeah.
those of you listening on
Probably
iTunes
be too
before February 10th, it's probably going to sell out February 10th. Then
Awesome.
we're going to a waiting list. We just can't get any more people in the conference, and the only way you get in
What
is
is
if
the
somebody.
total sold out number?
That's 6 days from now. You don't think it's going to be up by then?
Well, where's Chris
Jana.
Davis?
Jana.
Look at Nadeem.
Yeah, if you were in charge,
You know, yeah, if you did everything, it'd be done right after the show. But look at who
it
we're
would be
working with.
posted live.
We gotta go to third string Lebanese guy.
Oh,
So
man.
here is the announcing the winner of the Win a Simply Sack Chair for Youth Ministry contest. Hundreds of responses for the best reason to have a Simply Sack Chair in your ministry. The top 4 runners-up are.
Top 4. Drum
Now,
roll.
here's the deal. Really, kind of the queen behind this whole thing is Cammie, who runs our conference.
Yeah.
She's brilliant. She's wonderful. She's incredible. I said, Cammie, there's way too many. This thing blew up. There's no way I can read 400
Yeah.
emails. I can
mean, you're
barely find
retired.
the ones
you
to
you don't
print.
have the time to do that.
No,
Gets
I
in his
don't.
rocking
I've
chair,
got.
pulls a blanket over himself, and what do I do
Seriously,
today?
I got a
In
remote.
between shuffleboard.
I got a remote in one
Early.
hand and bonbons in the other.
Metamucil in between.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I saw
So-
a curling match, by the way.
So she read them
Underrated
all,
winter
and here's
report.
what she decided. I said, "You listen to every show. You know our sense of humor.
Yeah.
Pick the ones
Pull 'em
that
out for us.
are
Cammie
best." So
listens to the
Simply
show?
Sack Chairs will be at
Now
Simply
you're in trouble.
Youth Ministry Conference with hundreds of sack chairs with daily contests and giveaway. Check out their website at simplysackchairs.com. So here are the 4 runners up. Ready? We just did the commercial.
Nice little commercial. Now here we go. Here we
Oh,
go.
speaking of the commercial, can I tell you today I went over the new offices me and Nadeem did? We're going to have a new
Commercial.
podcast suite. Our new offices. I'm so excited. Getting a
That's
restaurant booth in there. I want to get extra restaurant booths for you
we
guys
hang
if
out?
you'd
Yeah,
like.
it'd be fun.
If you'd like to. Not Jana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's too good for us, but that's all right.
we got a whole church we get to work at.
I got to work where it's productive.
That's great. That's great.
Where things get done.
Yeah.
Bazinga! All right.
Bazinga.
This is for 4 runners up. If you were named, I'm not
we
sure
go.
what the runner up gets, but Cammie will tell me after the show. Larry Roy says I would use the Simply Sack Chair for sermon illustrations,
What?
such as one of Goliath's boogers.
Okay.
All right,
Runner up. Here we
runner
go.
up. Chris Harkins is a runner up. He says
Hi, Chris.
use the sack chair to cover up stains, tears, blood, and burn marks made on youth night.
Strong.
good.
Well
Yep,
played,
that was
sir.
good.
Especially the tears, if it's true.
The blood is awesome.
Sam Perkins
Grow
is
up.
a runner up.
Sam,
Although it
former
depends
Boston
if they're tears
Celtic.
from pain or tears from truth.
He says strap some skis or a saucer sled on the bottom and hit the biggest hill around for some uber comfortable sledding.
That would be awesome.
Video.
As a
We
person who's been
want
to the
video.
snow a couple
The
times.
4th runner
Not
up.
actually in it.
The 4th runner up is Brian Canny. Let the youth loose with washable markers to graffiti the Simply Sack Chair with prayer requests, praises, etc.
That
Wash
graffiti
the
good?
outside fabric each week. All right, there's our
That is a probably
4.
like that.
There's
I know
a
which one
That's
I'd
clever.
pick.
Yeah, do we get to choose out of that the
Yeah,
winner?
do we get to vote, or can I just choose?
Because I think the blood stains,
But no, there is a
tears,
winner,
that's the
right?
one.
No.
She picked a winner.
Oh,
She picked
She
a winner.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, what if we don't agree?
We didn't take
It's
the time
her
to read
content.
them.
It's
that's
her
true.
contest.
Well,
our
it's really
fault.
our
We're retired.
contest, but-
we're retired.
None of you stepped up wanted to read.
I didn't even know about the contest. Why didn't you bring me in on this?
If you'd be part of our podcast team and you'd come to our daily
Yeah,
prayer
we
meetings,
have
I
talked
think
of.
it's the other way around.
the 3 of us get together every day
Yeah.
and we pray
Yeah.
for the podcast, for your sensitivity, for you remembering who our audience is, for our team members. the whole
story.
thing.
Is this a full-time job?
And
what
the-
do you do?
Well, the winner,
I pray.
the winner
Every day for you.
is Kurt Parks.
Oh, we have a winner. We really do have a winner.
What did he win?
What?
Sack chair? How did he win it?
Which one was
Drum
Kirk
roll.
Parks?
Because
Here it
Which
comes.
one
I'm
of
gonna
the
read
ideas?
I'm going to read it now, Matt.
Those
Oh,
were four
I thought
runner-up,
runner-ups was
one
the
winner.
four people
We're
you choose
announcing
from.
Miss
I
America.
don't watch.
my God.
Goodness
Parks
gracious.
is Miss America right
Your
now.
intelligence just dropped to the
Well,
bottom
here's
shelf.
the deal. I don't watch Survivor and sing
Law- do you
along
watch
every
Law?
day.
Do you have
so
to-
I don't
Do you
learn
kind of understand life in terms of
runner-ups.
you have winners and then you have runners up?
Never.
All right, four.
I've never been either. I got honorable mention once. Where's that on the
There
list?
you go.
That's the
Okay.
full-
The other ones are basically
closest-
honorable mentions.
Okay.
Closest
So
non-winners.
now we're going to pick
The winner.
the one all-star.
Here it is.
Here it is. Kurt Parks wins it because everyone needs a soft place to land. It's
Oh,
it's
that's nice.
you know what?
It's
It's like a song jingle. It's not
Yeah.
the funniest.
no.
No, it's not the
No,
funniest.
it's
comforting.
It's comforting.
Yeah,
And
nice.
Everyone
and
needs
you
a
know what?
soft place to
Here's what
land.
we know. That you and me and Matt did not pick the winners.
That's for sure.
This was
Right.
picked by Cammie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
And that's
good.
okay.
It's a good.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Kurt. You win a
Woo!
sack
Yeah,
chair.
I
Probably.
stand behind Cammie's choice.
Yeah, I do too.
100%.
I do
I,
too.
Wait,
I like
does-
the blood, sweat, and tears.
Does
That
it
was
get
fun.
sent to him? How does he get it?
I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
they come in a box really small.
This
Once
is
they
the
get
year-
there-
Dude,
You
have
add
you
water?
seen those? They just.
This is the year of
yeah.
contests, remember?
It is?
Yeah, so what's the next contest?
You've missed too many.
Yeah.
You've missed too many
I
did
shows.
would
not
say
really
that
know
you
that.
guys need to fit in my schedule a little bit better.
Hey, if you guys would stop booking things on Thursday afternoons. It's the only day that I work.
My bad. My bad.
My bad.
Um,
Well, Jana's got a real mean boss.
Yeah.
You had to think for a second. Who was that?
no, I didn't. I wanted to. I feel like Jana talks to you a little nicer on the phone now that you're officially her boss.
Oh, no way.
I kind of feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely got inside now.
You know
Me
what's
too.
funny is he just thinks, what's the most annoying thing I can say? And he goes for it. It's perfect.
Rolls the dice.
It's the same skill. That's what's the most encouraging thing. What's the most? See, I've only got what's the most annoying. I can't jump the gap to.
This is from our buddy Mark Eads. He says, Doug and all, I'm
Mark.
excited about going to the Simply Youth Ministry Conference the end of this month, but I was wondering, what happens if there's really bad weather and people can't get to the conference?
Find a
That's
way.
like,
Well, here's the deal.
Dog sled.
It's
That's
going to
how.
be a smaller conference then.
no,
Yeah.
but that's like the story of every year, though. There's like some storm and it still works
That's
out.
great.
Yeah, you'll get there.
great.
Just maybe a little late.
What?
Flying on Tuesday.
I think he's like organized like 18 other youth workers from his community to come.
To come?
Yeah.
Really?
Remember your car
Yeah,
crash last
and maybe
year?
it's
Oh, bad
19
weather.
or
Now, I
maybe
know-
it's 16, but it's
I know
it's a
that
number.
it's year 4 for our conference. I am
Year
more
4?
excited about this year than I ever have been before. I think the other
Really?
years I was kind of nervous, like, are we going to be able to pull this thing off?
Oh,
but
I'm nervous.
the fact that I'm not nervous, but
wow.
the fact that it's like, sold out.
Yeah,
it's in a
that's fun.
great location. The hotel is unbelievable.
Chicago. Is that where it's at?
Yeah.
You just booked your flights a
You
couple
going to
days
be
ago.
there?
Yes.
Well,
I
you know
got
what?
to do the
Here-
podcast.
well,
Why
here's-
wouldn't I be there?
You got to do the podcast?
I'm just,
You
it's
want
a joke.
love.
We
Done
actually
with
need to get
podcast.
together, by the way,
Yes.
offline. We need to get together and plan on what we're going to actually do with the podcast for.
Yeah.
Not that we've
Yeah.
ever
Do we have
planned on
What,
it.
shirts.
free
I heard
pizza?
we have shirts.
We have shirts again.
Again?
Happy
Yeah,
100.
they're-
I didn't
no,
know
they're not happy 100. They're happy.
I'd do happy
127.
100th again.
No. They're cool. It's like I won't tell
It's
you.
like a shirt?
They're great. It's
A shirt?
It's a shirt with.
I wouldn't mind getting
Podcast.
paid for this. I'd rather
you-
get,
yeah,
I'd
can we
rather
talk
get-
about
I'd
that?
rather get paid than get a shirt
Are you
and we can retire.
are you paying to go there?
to the conference.
Yeah.
Nope.
Are you speaking? Are you teaching?
The podcast.
Did you sign a contract?
Nope.
That's all you're doing.
You're only doing the podcast?
And a Q&A, I think.
Oh, crap.
No, me and you are doing a Q&A together. And it's on confronting and challenging people. And I looked at it. It's me. It's the two of us and Doug Webster, I think.
Doug Webster's
It's
not
not
even
me.
going. Dan Webster.
Dan Webster,
I don't know
really
anything
good,
about
my
this.
friend. Well, it's super funny because I looked at it and I said to Cam, I go, "What do you want? You want me and Jana to demonstrate an argument? What's going on here?"
I
Which
think I
was
threw
really-
your name in that
Oh,
one.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be good at that.
I wouldn't really consider
'Cause
Jana
I
to
really
confront
could-
her. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, Janet.
Come on.
Janet can deal with stuff.
Sure, she
Yeah.
can deal with
I
it.
have
Come
one to my
on.
right who can deal with stuff and one to my left who doesn't like to. And I'm
We're
somewhere right
halfway.
in the middle.
But quite a bit
Leaning
more
towards
this way. Thank you.
Probably a
Let's
good
be
order
honest
of
here.
how confrontation happens.
Hey,
It's a great order.
you guys would be proud of me though.
Integrity.
I had to let people.
Pride, arrogance.
Just kidding.
I can't think of other words that I can't say on the air.
Guys, man, it's
All right.
Letting people down is hard. I'm sorry. It is. I had to call people last night. We have an open admin position on the HSM team. I had to call back. 8 people applied. 7, I had to call back and tell them no.
Who's getting it?
That was hard. Her name is Leanne. She's great.
Great.
She just graduated. Really
This is from Tim Livingood, who
That
is
is
from
awesome.
Trinity Church, and Tim wrote, our
wasn't.
buddy Chris from Lubbock, Texas, who was fired from his church because the youth group was not growing.
Yes.
He says, I live in Lubbock, and I'd like you to pass my contact information on to Chris,
Cool.
so that we can get together and have a meal and just encourage one another. I thought that was very, very nice.
That is.
Very,
Too
very
bad we
nice.
As long
can't
as Tim
facilitate
buys.
it, but it's a
No,
very
I'm
nice
going
thing.
to facilitate it. Very, very,
After the email gets
very
lost.
easy.
Back of the Azuzu.
All right. I'm just kind of passing over some of
Mazda.
these. We're kind of more of the.
Oh.
Sometimes
Meaty,
I put like.
we need meaty questions.
No, sometimes I put kind of like the, hey, we've missed Matt, and
Yeah.
isn't Andy special, and how
Yeah.
pregnant
Yeah.
is
We're
Jana?
done with those today.
We just have
Yeah.
gabbed too much. So
Yeah.
True.
So you're getting rid of those, huh?
No, I'm not getting rid of them. We'll save them for another
Another time.
show.
Kind of got you guys on the integrity line a little bit.
No, it's just a totally arrogant statement. No, it's all pride speaking.
Totally.
Jeremy Pinson
Truth and
from
pride.
Lorain, Ohio says, what ministry should my wife be involved in the church?
Whoa.
Our church has 2 pastors on staff, the lead pastor and the youth pastor, which I'm assuming Jeremy is. So our wives are obviously expected to be very involved in the church. Our pastor's wife confronted my wife after our midweek service and was very upset about my wife not being involved in our women's ministry, ladies' prayer meeting, women's small group gathering. She said she felt like she was pulling the women's ministry plow all by herself.
Whoa.
We have 2 children under 20 months, and my wife is very involved in our youth group. She has girls over all the time during the week and has a great relationship with our youth group as a whole. I feel like I'm too emotionally involved to see this clearly, but I also am not seeing the pastor's wife's side of this one. Usually I play the devil's advocate on most situations. Can you please give an objective view, even though you're only getting one side? Thanks so much.
Yeah, I'll
That
be
was a nice
objective.
email.
Kick
That was a
lady
nice
in the
email.
face.
Unfortunately, though, that's like
2
Live
kids
and
under
learn,
20
like-
months. Why aren't you more involved in the women's ministry?
An
That's
oxen in
rough.
the women's ministry, no less. Pulling the plow.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
out.
pulling the plow. Oh, that's because you're a cow.
Yeah, you do a great job. No, obviously she is. She's found a
course.
place of ministry. She is involved, and I think
Yeah.
that needs to be relayed to the
Well-
pastor's wife, who obviously doesn't know.
the unfortunate part is that they're finding out these expectations now, and that
Little
it
late,
wasn't
yeah.
talked about previously.
Yeah.
But I think
Well, we're assuming that. It might have been an expectation previously, and she's not pulling her weight. I mean,
Well,
if
yeah.
she
Oh,
said,
look at that.
if she said,
Devil's advocate.
well, if
Whoa.
she said, yeah, hey, I'll help with the women's ministry.
Well, and her scenario has changed now, 20 months later, since she said yes. She has 2 kids and
Maybe.
can't pull it. You know,
Can't
there's a
pull
lot
oxen.
of.
and that might be like you might
put your
think
hand
that
to the
is
plow, you can't look
everybody
back.
thinks that like, oh well, they know I've had 2 babies, but it might just be something you have to say out loud for somebody to go, oh okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, especially
Right.
if that other lady doesn't have kids.
Young
Sometimes
kids,
you
Which
forget.
she doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Which she doesn't. You're saying which
Yeah.
she must not.
She must not.
Yeah.
She
Must
doesn't
not.
understand.
Yeah.
Or she did. She has older kids.
Or
now
well,
and
she
has
does,
could
lost touch
she
with it.
could she
Yeah.
be could she be like many lead pastors' wives and tired and frustrated and
out.
Doesn't
is-
wanna do
Well,
it
and maybe
herself.
she doesn't like it
lacking-
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's just so much brokenness in her life, and Jeremy's wife was in the wrong place at the wrong time. When I read this first time I read it, I thought if it was me, I think if I was Jeremy, I would go to the pastor and say, hey, let's talk about our families for a second. Let
Yeah.
me tell you how involved my wife is in the youth ministry, and that is, she's doing everything that she can do, and you know, your wife made some comment, and I'm going to let my wife needs to talk to your wife about it, but I want to just kind of clear the air with
Yeah,
you
just
and
talk.
find
Yeah.
out if
Big picture here.
if there is an expectation that you have on my family, because this is one of those areas that's a little more gray, that if it's just the women work it out.
Yeah.
The senior pastor could always be evaluating Jeremy by his wife.
Right.
And you got to know if that's part of the gig or not. Because if that's part of the gig and this women's ministry is
Yeah.
part of now your job description or indirect job description, it would be wise of you to find that out. And then maybe, maybe if you're going to be evaluated based on that, maybe she needs to back off youth ministry a little bit to help
Yeah.
mow
yeah.
the lawn, or what is it? Pull the plow.
You
Yeah.
would only do it with the 2 of you, though, and not the 4 of you?
Well, it depends on if I had a good relationship with the senior pastor, I would probably start there and say, let's, because I want to know, is it affecting my job as a youth pastor? Because I don't always want to come to the defense and fight all my wife's battles.
Right.
So I would say, okay, let Kathy and the pastor's wife work it out.
Figure it out.
But if it's gonna be part of the expectation of my job, I want to find that out. Now, hopefully, in that we would have a good enough conversation where we could say, hey, why don't the 4 of us get together and talk about this, and make that step 2.
I think just ignore it. Let it go away on its own. It'll be fine.
I'm just reminded that
it's
everyone
no
needs a
big
soft
deal.
place to land.
That was good.
Thank you. It's really hard to wait on that one.
No, that was good.
Stop it!
Are you putting your fingernails in her straw?
That was
No.
why have I just put a fingernail in there?
Ugh.
I am so sad
That is
that
so
it's taken
gross.
me 37 years to think of doing that to somebody. That is horrible.
Here you go.
Is that the first time you've done that?
That's
Now-
the first time
No.
I've ever
Here's
done
something
that.
Well, it
I've
was
never
a
thought
pin
about
cap
before.
before.
Drink it right now.
Oh, I don't
Oh.
care about my own nail.
Yeah.
You don't bite your own nails when they
Sorry.
get too long?
No, but
That is
No.
so gross.
no,
You guys, it's not gross when it's on your hand. How can it be gross when
no,
it's
it's
off?
gross then too.
Okay.
Junior high podcast.
There we go.
Bring it back. Bring it back. This is why I always say I have more fun when Matt's not on the show.
But
Because people think it's a bit, and it's not a bit. It's not a bit. It's in my heart, I have more fun. Now, I think Matt's good for the show,
Right.
and I think he's got wisdom. I just don't have as much fun.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
It's not always about your fun.
Absolutely, and that's why you're still here. This is from...
Whenever it's been too long, you need a practice podcast to get back into it.
Gosh. No, but see, here's the irony of this. For our team that's listening,
Yes.
this will be a great podcast for them.
I don't know. I would challenge that.
Oh goodness.
Pastor Jeff says, Jeff Stewart, student ministry pastor at Peace Portal Alliance Church in Surrey, British Columbia. I assumed the role as youth pastor here in October, but have been a volunteer youth leader for nearly a decade. There have been 4 youth pastors in my time here, and the last one left under unfortunate circumstances related to poor personal decisions. I have lots of experience, but no formal training. I left a successful career in business as I felt God calling me to this position and have not looked back. Here's my question. I feel like we're getting close to a tipping point in the ministry. We've grown from 60 to 125 students since I took over in May on a volunteer role while they search for a new youth pastor who ended up being me. But I am sensing that as we continue to grow, having our program on one night may not yield the discipleship opportunity we're looking for. We meet Thursdays from 7:30 to 9:30 with a program that includes intro, worship, speaking, worship, small groups. I'm thinking about going to a program that's worship and a message on one night and having small groups in leaders' homes on another night to be determined on a group-by-group basis. But how do you get your volunteers buying into another night of the week? I have 20 volunteers, and several are nurses and one police officer, and I know that a flexible night would benefit shift workers, and let's face it, is there anyone more caring than a nurse?
Me.
Pride. Pride. Let's just start
That was a
listening. Just start
softball.
listening for
That
pride
was a-
statements.
That was a
Okay.
softball.
Check it off.
Yeah, just check it out.
You're going. You're
Make a
fishing.
noise.
You're fishing for a get, but it's not going to happen.
So how do you
That's a cool question. It's a
get
cool
volunteers
story.
Great
buying
problem to
into another
have.
night
So
of the
cool.
week?
Yeah.
I mean, that is a cool story. I love that. That is so great that a guy's involved, feels a call to leave.
Yep.
That's just cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Well,
don't-
I'll jump in. Go ahead, Jana.
I
I'll
don't think
jump
you
in
can
after
ask
you.
them to do. I think you ask them what they want to be at one program, pick one, go from there.
Yep, I was thinking the exact same thing. After I thought also, why don't you start at 7 and end at 9, which would be a little more family friendly, because now you're not getting my kid home until after 10, and I'd rather her not be out that late. Josh?
That's fair.
Um,
Note to self.
but no, I
What time
think
is his program?
7:30 to 9:30. So I was thinking the same thing. I think what you do on this, Pastor Jeff, is you give your volunteers a choice and heavily lean them towards being small group leaders, and run your other program with a leaner team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And
they're not
student
out 2
leaders,
nights
if
a
you have
week.
to
I
do
don't
it.
think that's a realistic ask.
Right, because chances are, if you look at the night right now, your volunteers are, there's some type of at least a chaperone in the crowd part of the night, and then they really shine as small group leaders. So ask them to become small group leaders. And there might be some that say, you know what, I really like the crowd setting as opposed to small group. I just did small group as you told me to.
Yeah.
So you might have a couple that split the other way, but chances are they shine the most in the small group setting already, so turn them into small group leaders.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else we want to add to this? Because I think that for
Can we show the record that I was quiet on this one?
Let the record show.
let the record show.
Do you think individual nights
He
for
needs
small
to be
groups?
noticed.
Let the groups just choose their own night instead of kind of putting a little structure to it? Is that good, healthy? It feels like could be a lot of chaos.
I think there's pros and cons to both of them. Is that the pro is you work around your volunteer schedules.
Totally.
The cons are if you ever want to pull that group together once every 5 weeks or 8 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
It's more difficult to do because people are kind of set in their ways.
Yeah,
But
someone could be on Sunday night and Friday
Yeah.
afternoon. It just feels like it would get,
Yeah, unless there's a time you say, look, the every 6th Tuesday
Right.
night
We all
that
get
week
together.
you cancel your
Right.
small groups and we're all meeting together.
Yeah.
Josh Christian says, hey, podcast team, I wanted to write and ask your advice on running our own summer camp. This year, because of rising costs of camps and the fact that our families are hurting financially more than ever, we've decided to run our own 5-day high school summer camp. We've already booked a great location that will lodge, provide 3 meals a day, and give us access to a lot of various free time activities. But everything else has to be done by us. Do you have any advice on where to start, resources to use, key areas to focus on? I'm super excited about this new direction, but feel a little lost and nervous about taking it all on ourselves. Any input you have would be appreciated. We have about 30 students to camp.
Don't we have Camp in a Can? Do we still have Camp in a Can?
Yep.
I do.
So that's a resource. We have Simply Youth Ministry, we have Camp in a Can. Okay, Jana, even though Matt will say he's more organized than you're the most organized.
No, I think we did that a couple summers where we had no choice and we had to do it ourselves, and it's a lot of work.
So where do you start?
We brought in a couple. What I think was best is when we brought in a speaker, because that relieved a little bit of pressure, and we could still do programming, and we liked what our programming was on an ongoing basis. But bringing in a speaker helped, I think, for us because
Who did we bring in? McGuire?
yeah, we brought in when we did our individual where everybody went
Yeah.
to Mammoth ABS, and so we kind of left it up to each people.
To find their own deal.
Yeah.
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 That was a nightmare. It was fun. Nightmare
Well,
planning.
it was a nightmare because
We did
had
5
to do
different
5
camps.
different camps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on
Well,
a
you
roller
got
coaster road
5
trip.
days. You got 5 days. You're already, you got your meals taken care of, free time activities. You plug those in there. Really, when you start looking at it, there's not a lot. Once you used to go, okay, well, this day we're going to do this free time activity. We got meals. You wake up in the morning. You're probably going to need some type of quiet time, some type of Bible study, some type of devotion they can do, which if you don't have it, obviously we've got a lot of stuff at Simply Youth Ministry.
Sure.
30 kids. You could do a video curriculum, break them into small groups.
Yeah. I was trying to think because that summer, did we all do one devotional for everybody? Did you?
Yeah, I think I wrote something
Yeah.
that summer for everybody.
But
I wrote something.
Oh man. What was awesome though was you starting to put together a plan.
Yeah.
I was wanting to see how far you were going to go with that.
Yeah, there it
You
is.
got 3 meals
You got
on there.
5 days,
Meals,
3
circles.
meals a
Plan.
day.
Circles.
This is how it starts, and then it goes like this. All right,
Here
this is
you
what we're
go,
going to do
Matt.
with camp. Jana,
Here,
can you make this happen?
Then Matt took credit for it. All right.
things we would talk through is like Are we doing a morning program, an afternoon program? Are we?
Yeah.
Are they the same? Are they different?
Yeah.
Those are some of the questions we would ask ahead of time.
Well, I would also say there's probably, I'm guessing, Josh, maybe not, but maybe there's a volunteer. I got my friend Greg involved one time this summer. It was like we were doing our own summer camp. I don't know, Matt, were you in high school at the time?
No, I was
Vinyl?
going.
Huh?
I was there.
Oh, were you on staff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
it
he
just
did
said, you know
food?
what, I need more help on this. Bring somebody else in to help you think through those time blocks. But I'd break everything up into time blocks and go,
Yeah.
okay, so what are we going to do during this time block? Maybe not have everything the same every day, so it's not real predictable for kids.
Yeah.
Well, and be
I
okay
think-
with free time, and also look
Well,
at your
and the-
facilities of the camp, like if there's a pool and if there's a ropes
Yeah.
course or whatever,
But the more planned you have it out before you go there, then you're not
Even
letting kids create a democracy of what you're going to do
Yeah,
next.
you gotta have a schedule. I mean, you want to schedule every hour, even if some of it is free time.
Sure.
And I think you want to start with just having a generalized list of activities,
I
not
was just
not
gonna say that.
necessarily a direction, not necessarily a strategic plan, but we could do this, we could do that, and I think it's activities that are spiritual stuff, and also fun, game, connecting, whatever type stuff. And I think that once you have kind of a collection of ideas, then you stop and think, okay, what do I want to accomplish by the end of the week? Is this a thing where we want everyone to connect and feel closer? Do we want them to grow closer to God? Do we want them to learn about this? I think after you kind of have an idea of activities, of things that you could do, that's your time to say, okay, what do we want to accomplish with this whole week? And once you have that, I think a teaching focus or a theme, theme's probably a better way to say that. I think then you build everything around that theme, and you figure out when's a good time to have quiet times, followed by a time of singing, followed by screwing around. I think once you have a theme and some activities, then you put the pieces together. But you do need to have blocks. I think every hour needs to be scheduled, not because not because you want to be some super over controlling person. You just don't want to
You want to
be
have a
taken.
plan.
You don't want to be taken by surprise.
Well, and there's inevitable comparisons to organized camps that you went to last year. So if this is the first time you're
Right.
planning camp, they're going to compare to how it was at this
Right.
camp or the
Yeah.
year before,
Right.
and so you need to have be on
Yeah.
top of your game.
But I think 30 kids, one of the things that comes to my mind is the idea of make it memorable and making memories. And Josh is so good
Yeah.
about that. Is what is that thing that they're going to
Mhm.
leave camp and just remember as being that was the best year of camp because of
So all that to say, just pick up camp in a can.
Just plan it. Just do what Doug does. Call Jana.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, get memory makers by Duffy Robbins.
Creative dating.
Jeremy Webb, First Church of God, St. James, Missouri. Nice stuff about the podcast.
Thank you.
And part 2, my question for you involves working with interns. I was recently approached by a college student who would like to do his internship at our church with our student ministry. It'll be the first time I have worked with an intern, and my church has never had an intern before. I want to prepare him so that I don't waste his time or mine. What resources would you suggest for me to be reading and working with prior to the summer? How would you suggest utilizing an intern in a smaller church with an average of 20 and 25 kids in the student ministry? I look forward to your input and can't wait to weigh in Chicago. Speaking of weigh in,
Wow.
boys.
Wow.
3 chicken strips for lunch. I'm good.
Yeah,
Stole 2 fries. Drank water.
yeah. How was your Grand Slam at Denny's this morning?
Very good.
Did you have
English muffin
breakfast with
and
dinner?
hash browns. Thank you.
Yeah. All right,
Lumberjack
so
slam.
here we go. Jana,
I think-
the boys are not going to talk at all.
No, Josh is good at this, but I think the first thing is don't think you're getting free labor and somebody just to come and help you for the summer, because it will actually be more work than you're anticipating. It will be more work for you to have an intern than
That's
you're
true story.
anticipating. So be prepared for that. Don't just be prepared to say, here, run with these 10 things. I'll see you at the end of the summer, So I think that's the first thing. As far as what to read, I mean, I think, I don't know that I would name specific books, but I think be in touch with who you are as a leader. What's your leadership style? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And ask him what do you need from me as a leader too? And I think ask those questions early on. Have an honest conversation about what are his expectations and what are your expectations, because somewhere in that summer, it will come up.
Yeah.
So,
Didn't you just write a book?
well, not really. A resource.
A resource.
I don't
Okay.
know if it's a book.
Yeah, everybody writes books. That's good.
Intern ministry, start to finish. But June-ish?
When's
we're
it going to
waiting
be
for?
out?
Yeah, May.
May?
Yeah, maybe
That's
just in time
awesome.
for summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that they're just more difficult. One of the reasons that we have chosen not to do summer interns is because we've kind of felt like you don't get the bang for the buck out of them. You spend so much time helping them have a great summer that you're not getting as great a return from them. So,
Well, and clarity, we do allow summer interns, but only if they've volunteered in our ministry previously.
they've
and
been
are
part of our
yeah,
ministry,
if they're
yeah.
involved in,
Homegrown.
because it takes too much work to bring everybody
Yeah.
up to speed in a short amount of time.
I
you
would
know?
agree with that too, very, very much so. I would think this too. Just think about what you can offer that intern. Like, how can you help them learn to get a taste of what it means to be a pastor, what it means to run an event and be organizational and all that too. But also think of what they can add to the ministry and what are their gifts and why has God brought them to you, and how can this be a win-win-win?
Our buddy David Morris, who's a youth pastor at Castleton Church of the Nazarene in Indianapolis, Indiana, says, I registered for the SYMC at the end of September. So he's been registered for a long time. Can't wait to join us in Chicago. This being the year of contest, I was hoping you'd clear up a question I had regarding the conference. I have seen some tweets about the organization of a morethandodgeball.com dodgeball tournament. Can you
Yes.
provide any specifics on this? Is there a site you could direct us to for guidelines? A dodgeball tournament with youth workers would be awesome. Also, I'm putting dibs on Derwin Gray being on my team.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you'd actually have to see our website
Yeah.
to understand the Derwin Gray bit, but
Yeah.
it's good.
That's funny. Well, we are having a morethandodgeball.com tournament.
We are
And
not.
we are. We absolutely are.
Where?
I don't know. But
No,
Cammy said
no,
it's on.
no. You're supposed to be more ahead of the game than I am.
Nope.
It's off.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
It's been off for like 2 weeks. We can't find a room in the hotel that doesn't have chandeliers and sprinkler systems and the whole bit.
Wow.
You
you're
can't find a
gonna say
local
no to
church
that, huh?
gym?
We can't find a church gym. Is there no workout place with a basketball court? Nothing?
I don't know. Why don't you jump back on that since it's more than dodgeball.com?
I guess we're not doing it.
It's
But
not much.
I
of
guess
a
we're
Way to
doing
give
it.
up.
When you
Way to,
can't
David,
even
I
do
guess it's
dodgeball.
over now.
way to give up so
over.
Chicago.
soon.
But I'll give you a free
The Windy
t-shirt. I have
City
some
doesn't have
sweet new
someplace
t-shirts coming
inside you could do
up. I
something.
guess not.
It snows there, for goodness sakes.
Is this for real? Are you?
It's last I heard we couldn't do it in the hotel.
Oh, wow.
It's the truth. Thank you, Dave.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you'd be up to the speed a little bit more on the
I
conference
just
that you're
gotta
helping
book my
program.
flight first.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Are
We're
you
not
even
playing
going?
dodgeball? I
Are we getting segways this year?
We're not.
You suck.
If I could have a gym for dodgeball, I might
You
spring for a
suck.
Segway.
Why are we not having segways?
I would like one in the snow. You know how much fun that would be?
Dude,
Ooh.
It's not going to be snowing.
In the
it's not.
cold
No.
weather?
No, don't
What
even bring a
month is it?
jacket. Seriously, you'll be fine.
It was,
Well, he's
it was
already
80
done that
It was
before.
85 there today.
Where
Weird.
were you where you had to buy a jacket?
There's no
That's
more than
funny. Somewhere.
dodgeball.com tournament.
Somewhere where it was
Turkey
like
with
20
your husband?
degrees below.
Sorry.
This from
Walking
Craig
the streets of Istanbul in shorts.
at Trinity Baptist Church. He says, our church does Awana. I know, right?
What?
Anyway, it
what's
occurs-
wrong with Awana?
It occurs on the same night as our middle school midweek. A couple weeks ago, someone who doesn't attend our church but sends their kids to Awana was offended to see middle school boys playing Halo 3. This person found a deacon to share his disappointment. I only allow them to play on multiple player mode. No bad language. I see Halo at best as a great tool to bring together middle school boys and start relationships with leaders and peers, and at worst, fairly benign, maybe too violent. Background, our students play it for about 20 minutes a week. My meeting with the deacon on this issue lasted 45 minutes. It ended by me telling him that the game was not worth the 45 minutes I wasted, and I should be doing something more productive with my
Oh.
time. So I made a deal with him. If we would let me out of this conversation and back into the hands and feet of Christ, I would pull the game until I did some research. He says, I was way more respectful than I sound in this.
I was
I was
gonna
gonna say, wow.
holy, you don't have a halo on anymore.
Sounds like me talking.
What is your views on video games and ministries, specifically Halo?
Oh, we
You're
don't
the
let him
wrong
in at
person to
all.
ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna
he says, Matt, thanks for the LDS outline.
Oh,
Latter-day Saints?
yep.
All right, specifically Halo.
Well,
job, John.
I think if it's causing that much controversy in the Awana/church, you should probably pull it.
Oh,
Really?
Really?
That's
Controversy.
really what you
of
think in
visiting-
your... No, wait. First... No way. That's
Wow,
not what
look
you
at this.
think.
They can play it at
Ladies and
home,
gentlemen,
but they
we just
can't
got
play it
some
at church.
passion.
People have a different set of rules for what can be okay in the church. They will. If you played what they watch on TV in a church, people would freak out. The same people. that
Yeah,
are
but
causing that
so you're shutting it
I'm
down
saying
because
double
one
standard.
person who
Can't
doesn't
win.
even go to your church
Yep.
makes a comment to your deacon.
Yeah.
I would have a conversation with the deacon, but again,
Bazingo.
They have. They have Awana. It's a high.
no,
it's
well,
a highly
that is-
conservative church.
Yeah. I can see
Awana's
that.
Is this a
Conservative?
battle you want to fight?
Is Awana
it is
is
not.
Awana the
I'd
the
fight it.
Christian
Tony
version
Hawk's
of Boy Scouts?
skateboard game and be done with it.
What's Awana
This
again?
from a guy who had Halloween this year. I mean, we had a
I know. I was
full-on-
gonna say
and
the
I just wanna
refinery
say,
discussion.
we
of
had
like,
Congratulations for
82
bringing that back. by
Thank
the
you.
way.
You're
I-
eight.
I
We had
feel
over.
like
We had over 80 players could
if
play
there's
it
one
at
part
once.
of my legacy that can continue.
It was incredible.
or Doug
So
Elliott's?
I'm not saying
Oh.
anything. There's anything wrong with Halo.
that's right. It was Elliot's idea.
seriously,
Oh god.
but because he
Okay,
has
Matt.
pride
Has to
issues,
have
yeah.
This from a guy who plays Halo and has no trouble with it at all. I'm saying
So
You wouldn't do it at church.
middle school
in
boys.
that context.
He's saying because of Awana.
I'm saying
Well, how serious is the
It's
elder?
an
That's the
M-rated
question.
game.
It's a deacon. It's less.
Serious.
In the New Testament, they're
it's an
interchangeable
M-rated
words.
game, which is 17 plus. I work with high school students. It's different.
It's
The E ESRB says don't let middle school kids play that game.
and I don't let them.
Your
vote
deacons
on our
are saying don't play
morality.
that game.
No, it depends on how serious the deacon is. Like, if the deacon has power and he's a person of authority, well, are you saying like automatically?
No, I'm laughing at you going, if he has power, like that's not.
If
In that church,
if you
he has
report,
power.
it's to me, it's simple. If you report to him, and he says you can't do it, I think you argue as strong as you can. But at the end of the day, the guy doesn't let you do it. You got to do what the guy says.
Yeah,
Well-
but I don't think that's what. I don't think he's.
Yeah.
He's
Is
saying
it
that.
benign? It is. Is it foolish that he'd have to? It is. But is it reality that this church is not ready for it?
Yeah.
It is.
Just stop doing it for 6 months and start it back up again.
Yes.
Well, these.
Well, there are
it's-
some
That's a
alternatives. There are
joke,
some
but-
They'll
alternatives.
get mad at
as far
something
as-
else soon enough.
Yeah.
So take this one away.
I want to know what Awanas is.
It's
Is it
just
Christian
like-
Boy Scouts?
kind of.
Pioneer clubs.
What's Pioneer
It's just
Club?
like you memorize verses and you play games. It's fun. It's good. I went to it as a kid.
It's like a yeah, and he
so
was
it's a
also
homeschool
homeschooled.
thing.
I knew that.
Turn
was
off the
good.
camera. No, it's good. It's very conservative churches.
I've heard of Awana. I just don't really know what it is. Did we do it
Yeah.
at Saddleback ever?
Oh yeah, it was at Saddleback when we first got there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like a Bible club
Yeah.
for children.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
yeah, we
big
below.
of a deal.
Okay, so-
Scouts.
So
Roll
I
over
think
and
what I'm
play dead.
saying, you're saying
Roll
pull
over
the
and
plug
play
right
dead.
away. For me, I'm saying I'd have a conversation about the bigger picture. And if in that bigger picture I can see that this is going to be a hill that this deacon
Yeah.
or somebody in the
Right,
church
right.
is going to die on, it's not worth it. I'll go to Tony Hawk and do some
Right, call
do
it
something.
good.
I don't even honestly. I've never played Halo in my life.
Incredible game.
I've
Best
seen it.
game
I've seen
ever.
it, and I couldn't even. If there was
So much
four
fun.
things playing, I would know which one Halo is.
It's this
Which
one.
is so sad.
Yeah, I know. I'm just not
You're
a video
missing
game
out.
guy. I know.
But you
I
know fashion.
That's right.
You're welcome.
That's right. No, in my retirement, I'm just golfing.
You should play. Halo.
Yeah.
It's a.
I
It's
should play that
incredible
new
game.
Tiger Woods game
You
Yeah.
should. Where the one
Where-
where he runs around.
where he plays around and then hits the street.
I thought you were going to talk about his putter. But anyhow,
Oh, what is happening here?
Seriously.
Gosh,
I was with you. Sorry.
I don't even know what you're saying. There is so much good stuff here.
And such a
Speaking
great
of
show.
inappropriate, how's the Michael from The Office Seabinger doing? Did you have to put a lot of money into that?
You don't want. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Are you gonna lose your convertible?
No, I put enough money into it that I have
buy
to
a
keep
new
it
one?
forever.
Oh, you.
You
I
do.
shouldn't. I felt bad. I shouldn't. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Um,
I got a minivan.
I'll buy it from you. I have $4 left.
this is Nathan Gallegos from Centro Cristiano in San Diego, California.
Nice.
Lebanese
Gallegos.
church.
He actually, Nathan Gallegos. And I'm the youth pastor in what used to be sunny San Diego. It's been rainy all week. I want to let you know I truly enjoy the
It's been raining
podcast.
for a week, and it's Californians.
And my team has his team listening to it as well. As everyone knows, last year was a difficult year for most as far as budget goes, but we were blessed to actually have received a youth ministry budget for the first time.
Awesome.
Before that, the budget was my wife and I and those faithful parents and adults. We've never really been big on fundraisers, but dependent on sponsors for most of our ministry needs. Since I heard you guys talk about the biblical philosophy of not using fundraisers, I have taken them out altogether. I don't really think it was biblical philosophy. I think what we said is
Saddleback
we don't do it
philosophy.
in the church. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the last 10 years in youth ministry, 8 of them as youth pastor, I have accumulated a good library of material, mainly from Simply Youth Ministry. Thank you. So with that,
Mediocre
this
library.
year I have planned to spend a large portion of our budget on our volunteer youth leaders, training, books, registrations, and so on.
Awesome.
Do you have a portion of your budget set aside for your volunteers? Would love to get your feedback or suggestions on this. Thanks and God bless. We'll be going to Saddleback for the Radicalis
Oh,
conference.
we'll
Next
see
week.
you in a
Rad,
He
dude.
says, was that your inside joke last week? Yes, it was.
week. Ah.
Bazinga. And
What was your
then to
inside joke?
Chicago. Then he's going to Chicago.
Wow.
He's
that's
conferencing it up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We budget
So,
volunteers.
do you have a
bet.
portion of your budget set aside for your volunteers?
Absolutely.
Josh, what is your guys' budget?
It's, I would say 14%, probably 15%.
I'm just surprised you. I'm just,
That is.
Do you like that one?
Oh, it's so. I would say 14%. Like you don't even. Oh,
No
my
clue. I don't know. I
gosh.
just know we have some.
How come I'm the only one that got that?
I can't believe.
that was my
It's-
setup. I was trying to get him to go.
Did you
there.
see how I even thought about it? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
calculating. I got nothing right now.
Yeah.
14. 20.
No way.
We
It's
love you
14%.
so
No,
much.
I don't know what it is. But we definitely take a percentage of the budget to focus on the care, affirmation, training, all curriculum. If at all possible, subsidizing them to participate at events, camps, etc.
Yeah, built into
Training
each
and
camp.
appreciation though is like a big
That's
thing.
definitely a
Like,
big piece of
we
it.
wanna
Yeah.
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 be sure that
We
that-
absolutely do. I think that's a great use of money pouring into people. It's huge. I actually bought breakfast this morning for a couple of our small group leaders that were at Denny's. Happened to be there having a lumberjack grand slam, and so I used a part of that budget. The
So
best
you weren't
$20 I
meeting
could
with
spend.
them.
No, I just happened
You
to be
just
there.
surprised them.
Yeah. I surprised them at their table with a little gift of buying their breakfast, and it was $20 out of our volunteer budget. But I would say some of the best $20 we would spend.
Well, because it wasn't out of your pocket.
It'd be even better.
and it was on food.
Hey, all of you guys know me. It's good to be known. Thank you.
12%.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what?
we
Because
running
he's
out
going to
of
be at
tape?
the conference, let's talk more about that.
Should we do something fun for him or just
No, let's just talk to him.
All right.
Yeah, spend
We'll
time
see
with
you
him.
there, San Diego.
Let's
What was his
organize a dodgeball tournament for him.
How
Wouldn't
much
that be
time
fun?
we've
Wait,
been got
yeah.
left
We're
on
over.
the deal?
Yeah, you've got about 6 or 7 minutes.
Okay, we don't need
I've
to.
done
For the whole tape.
Well, we started twice because of Matt.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Matt, what?
Yeah.
we got a lot of question. Let me do one right here from this guy is in Northern Kentucky. I serve in an older generational church, average age 60 to 70.
Whoa.
So do we?
Me
Our
too.
youth group.
Bazingo. Can I say it
Bazingo?
for you?
What?
No.
I can't say it for you.
You're
No, you have to
still-
come up with your own.
Yeah.
You,
No, I'm
you need
saying
to
it
come up
for
with
you.
no. You if you want to do that, you have to come up with a noise or a word
Annoying.
that says what you think I feel, and it can't be mine.
What
very
do you think I
complicated.
feel?
What do you think I feel? Not being on church staff anymore, being a volunteer.
Filled out your application yet?
Yep.
Oh, dude, background check.
Yeah.
grand
Pay the
larceny.
$20.
Now that he's retired. He's got a lot of free time to get into mischief.
Yeah. My biggest struggle,
Tagging stuff.
well, I've been women's blouses I'm into.
You can tell by your shirt.
If somebody joined us late,
I can tell by your
If you
shirt.
just tuned in, holy smokes.
go.
I'm embarrassed for you right now.
I'm not smart enough to be embarrassed.
There's
for
someone
myself.
rolling back on iTunes like, now, what did I miss? I don't get it. I still don't. I don't get it.
We don't get it
It's
either.
okay.
Yeah, Matt didn't get it. Our youth group is smaller but growing in consistency. My biggest struggle I'm facing is our evaluation process. Our church provides evaluation forms for each member of the congregation. Getting the giggles of that. The forms are anonymously filled out because in their mind they feel like this is the only way people will be honest with their answers. Needless to say, I've had many evaluations that read, I do not have a child in the youth group, nor am I part of this ministry, but then they go on to attack my character, any decision I've made, and my family. I absolutely love the youth of our church, but this process is absolutely killing me and my family right now. Most youth ministers that I talk to are evaluated by their pastor. Our pastor has no problem with the current system as it takes a load off of his shoulders. I am at the point now where I don't know where to take the next step. I truly believe it's unbiblical, and I even teach to the students that any issues you may have with someone should never be dealt with anonymously. This is my first full-time youth ministry position since graduating from college. I did not know this was their process when I was hired, and now I feel like I'm stuck in the twilight zone. Any help or pain medication would be greatly appreciated.
What do they do with those? They just read them and share them, or is his review
Well, it
and
sounds like
salary?
this
I'm
is
guessing.
review.
I'm guessing he gets to see them.
Yeah, just disregard them. If all your, if
Well,
there's no names, they're irrelevant.
Yeah, but if you're still seeing them, you
hurts.
you have the
that's what I'm
thinnest skin
saying.
at the table. You can't disregard when somebody says something negative, even if it's anonymous. Do you go, oh, I just disregard that? No, it still
Don't
stings
listen to
you.
it. Throw it away. Tear it up. Burn it up.
What? How about before you?
Let's assume that these have
Well-
power.
No, they do. Because let's go back to Josh's deal for a second. Just forget it. You can't just when somebody criticizes you,
Right.
you don't just forget it,
That
even
was
if it's
bad.
anonymous.
But one of the things he said
can't
is
either.
it's,
I mean,
it's
I-
killing his
yeah.
family, and I would say find somebody else to share it with and not your family.
Yeah.
Well,
you
I would,
can't
yeah,
share.
I would say to the pastor, if this is me, and I know we're running out of time, I would say this. I'd say, Pastor, if
Don't
you're
suck.
fine with the evaluations, anything anonymous that you can weed out. I mean, anonymous critique is the cheapest, wussiest,
not fair.
easiest thing. It's not fair.
not
It's a great way
cool.
to say it. It's just it. You shouldn't have. The pastor shouldn't even let you see it.
No.
So if, Pastor, you want to use some of that to evaluate him based on anonymous
Yeah.
people that don't have kids in the youth ministry, you're a poor leader.
Yeah.
That's poor leadership. And I
You
would
just have your pastor listen to this podcast.
absolutely. You know what? We got to figure out. I
It
actually
just
have some
enables weak-
side notes to crappy churches. There's so many.
It just enables weak community.
It's
it
just
enables
bad leadership.
superficial. I don't
Well,
need to talk to somebody. I have a problem because of
critical
gossip.
spirits and-
I mean, it's just
How is the pastor okay with it? Because he or she is getting those same comments, right? Is it
Yeah.
not just attacking the youth ministry? It has to be attacking.
It would be
There has to
interesting
be-
to have a
it seems
follow-up
like there would be
email to hear
another-
some of the
Seems
things
like they would
that were said.
understand.
It would be
That who said?
It would be. I would love to have a follow-up email from to hear what's being said
About
and
his
what
youth
happened.
ministry?
Yeah. What are some of the comments?
Okay, well let's
And-
take that as
and-
issue
and-
2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Issue
yeah.
1 is anonymous cheap shots across the
No.
bow that,
Yeah.
you know,
I was-
I think it's poor leadership on the senior pastor's part to say, I don't know who said this, but your ministry sucks. But you know what? I'm okay with it because I don't have to do it.
It's not fair.
I was thinking even the word evaluation versus survey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Evaluation.
that
Right.
that just makes the tone so much heavier and personal rather than
Yeah.
survey, whatever. Okay, you have your own opinion, great.
You know what I've been finding myself, like today when I was reading these and a couple times, I'm finding myself getting angry
Yeah.
at
Churches.
churches.
You should write a book about about this.
But it comes down to leadership.
senior
It's not. It's,
pastor.
I
comes
mean,
down
that's
to
the thing.
leadership. It's bad leadership.
Yeah.
It is. And, you know, chances are that senior pastor is just leading the way he was led.
Yesterday, someone asked for anonymous feedback.
Right.
And so I wrote out 20 things that I would say anonymously. And I looked at the list and I went, I would never say those face to face with the person who was asking it. I want to. I should.
See,
So I took it and I crumpled it up, threw it away.
Somebody
And then-
asked for anonymously?
Yes. On like 5
we could.
major
Rick
areas.
did. Rick asked the
Okay.
staff.
Pastor Rick asked in 5 categories anything you want to say about 5 things. And I quickly, without even thinking, like wrote down 20 things. Then I crumpled it up and threw it away because it wasn't fair. I want to own those. If I have a
Yeah.
conversation.
See, and I wrote feedback, and at the bottom I said Matt McGill. I said I can't remain nameless and then expect to
that
go
I
to
would,
sleep
I,
tonight.
that would even be better.
And
it's
I
not
said,
fair. I wouldn't do it
you
to
know,
someone
he
else.
asked about the weekend, and I said, you know, the biggest criticisms that everyone says, you know, that we'd have shorter messages and, you know, change some of the styles. I mean,
But you got to own that because you can't just take shots at people. It's not.
but it is
fair.
a little different, though. I think getting feedback from your staff.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, how do you feel about
Well,
collecting anonymous feedback?
I
from
wouldn't
the
ask
staff?
for anonymous feedback.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
he
you
would-
know- Put
your name
but
on
he's
it.
kind
Own
of
it.
trying to create a little bit of a safe environment so people felt free to
Communicate
speak.
with him.
Well, that's what this
But-
pastor's doing too.
No,
You're right.
well,
He's creating a safe environment. Hey, don't put your name on it. Just tell us what you really think, and then people.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess the question becomes, the difference is if Rick came after people
See-
and Rick came after and said, hey, you know,
Right.
See, and
Jana,
that's the
the
thing is, I do
internship,
trust Rick. Rick's not going to snap people. You know, hey, 6 people said this. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah, but still, let's think. But even if he doesn't, he still now has that
in the back. Of his
that
head.
cheap,
Yeah.
critical, anonymous information in the back of his mind.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I have
Yeah.
no problem. Mom pulled me aside this Saturday night, pretty upset, in tears over something
The
that we
sex
had done.
series.
Yeah,
Not just the sex series, what I said.
and I have no problem talking to a loving mom
Yeah.
who cares for her daughter and all this stuff because she's owning it.
Yeah.
And she came up to me and explained it. We had a great conversation. It didn't end like I'd hoped it would, but I am always up for that. And I'm in my stomach. I'm going, oh, conflict. Okay, here we go. Boom.
Yeah, deal with it.
At least she owned it. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. There was no secrets. There was no
She was
talk to an
so
elder.
mad,
talk to
though, that I let kids play Halo at Awana. All right, we're done. Come on, bring it in. Love you guys, team. See, you. Are we going to do this
Bye.
next week, or we have our Radicalis
do
conference?
it.
Can we do it?
no.
No. Well, maybe we will.
See you
Maybe we'll
next
do
week.
it Friday. Now that Nadeem can do it, Friday.
I can do it.